This is his first store in February. This is the first store that he built, $13,452 in February 2017. The second store that he's got is on WordPress. That's why you can see the chart looks a little bit different here. $8,729 in February. That's his second store. And his third store did $51,439 in February. And I've actually put the wrong screenshot in here when I created these slides, so I'm sorry about that. But you can see it reflected here anyway, $58,000 in February. So isn't that amazing? I mean, he's launched 3 websites. He's been running this business very much part-time, and he's absolutely crushing it. Now, just to clarify one thing here, when we're showing these results, like 58,000, that's revenue. So we typically have between a 40 to 50% profit margin on these types of websites. So in this case, what we've got here is probably about $25,000 in profit in February, which is pretty darn good by anyone's in anyone's books. Okay, so Nathan is absolutely crushing it, and we asked him, look, what's a day in the life of Nathan like? And he told us this, and this was when he used to work a day job, because we had this interview with him a few weeks ago. He said, I wake up, I check my Facebook ad, I check my stores, I go to work. He's quit his day job now, so I don't know what he does for number 4, but he's quit his day job. Fulfill orders in the afternoon after he gets home from work, respond to customer service emails, and then during the evening do product testing and develop my 2 newer stores. So you can see here, that's what Nathan does, and he's reaping the rewards in a huge way. A lot of what he does can actually be outsourced though. For example, responding to customer service emails, there's really not that many of them. Fulfilling orders, that's pretty much automated. And even doing a lot of the product testing can be outsourced as well, and that's what he's working on now. So we asked Nathan to give us some top tips, and he said one of the things that he recommends is to go international. Don't limit yourself just to the United States. And in fact, the next person that we're going to introduce you to has pretty much 99% of his sales outside of the USA. Okay, so it's not just about the USA market here. Don't spend too long on product testing. Get your images right. So this is the second person that said images are absolutely key. Okay, put in 800 number on your store with voicemail. So this is just putting a phone number on your store. It gives your store more credibility. Your customers can call in. You don't have to answer it. It just goes straight to voicemail. There's lots of different services that do this. There's actually free services that you can use. And people can leave a message, and it's up to you if you reply or not. Number 5, offer fast shipping for impatient customers. So one of the things you can do on your website is you can offer different types of shipping. Offer the regular free shipping, which might take a couple of weeks or more. You can offer expedited shipping, which might take a couple of days, and you can put different prices for each one. So there's not really any reason why you wouldn't want to offer a range of different shipping. And he said that he likes to focus on ad engagements. So when he's running his ads, he tries to get as many people engaging as possible, so comments, shares, and likes. And what this does is it helps generate more organic buzz about your website and what you've got going on. So type in number 1 in the chat box if you've got any good tips from Nathan that you could imagine yourself implementing to improve your results. Awesome. And Nathan, guys, he's just a regular guy. He's got no special, technical background or anything like this. Okay. Roseanne says, I'm also an attorney and I'm ready to leave it behind. Yeah, I get you. Our next guest here, the next person we are introducing you to is Martin from Scotland. Have we got any Scottish people on the call? Or just type UK if you're in the UK. If you're watching this from in the UK at the moment, and I know it's probably quite late at night in the UK. We've got a few Scottish people here. Rona's from Scotland. Lots of people from the UK. So Martin's from Scotland, and as you can see, this is his newborn baby boy, about 2 weeks old now, and this is his daughter here on the right of the screen. And Martin's background is that he is a former carpenter or builder, okay? He's married with 2 children, lives in sunny Scotland, and he had failed for 3 years online before he finally made his breakthrough with the 100K Factory program. So he came into our program in April last year, and he's since quit his day job, and he now works full-time on his 100K Factory business. His business is almost entirely based in the UK. In fact, if you look at that there, you'll see that screenshot, you'll see that he did £115,000, that must be about $130,000, and about 80% of that comes from the UK, with probably just about 1% of it coming from the United States. So this just goes to show that the UK is also a great marketplace. And not just the UK, we've got people who are, is anyone here from, I know a few people here, just type in capital A if you're from Australia, because we've got people that are getting similar results in Australia, and you don't have to be in Australia to be able to sell to Australia. We sell all around the world. Okay, lots of Australians here. Same, there's a lot of people from that region as well. So the point here is it's not just the United States. Okay, it's not just the United States. The United States is a mammoth market, and you should absolutely leverage it. But as Martin's showing, there's other big marketplaces as well. So that's pretty exciting, right? So here you can see he says, my best month to date was October 2016. I did £71,000 in sales, and that's around about $80,000, something like that, $80,000 in 1 month. And on the right, you can see he commented in our Facebook page. We've got a Facebook group for the 100K Factory members from last year, and he says, the best day since we started our 100K journey last June. This is literally just, I think today or yesterday he posted this. $5,400 in total revenue in a 24-hour period. Minus the Facebook spend, that's $2,100 profit for us. If ever a system works, it's 100K. We switched to Shopify a while back and never looked back. 100K Ultra and now Revolution is going to create so many breakthroughs. It's astounding. Very happy days for all of us to embrace the system. So just goes to show he's absolutely crushing it. We asked him for a day in the life. What's a day in the life of Martin look like now that he's quit his day job? He gets up at around 7:30 in the morning, goes to the gym, then comes back home and takes his daughter to school at about 8:45, helps his wife out with the new baby, does some product research, takes a break, does some more product research, picks up his daughter from school, helps with the homework, and then adds a few more products to his store. That's kind of like a typical day in the life of Martin. So he's definitely living life on his terms, being able to help with the baby, take his daughter to school, pick her up from school. That's pretty cool. And we asked him for some of the tools, and this is what he sent through. He said he's obviously with the 100K Factory program, but he also uses Shopify. He uses Facebook for traffic, AliExpress for sourcing suppliers. He uses onlinejobs.ph. Just type in number 1 in the chat box if you're interested in outsourcing or if you've done outsourcing at some stage in the past. Okay, looks like lots of people are interested in it. Some people are saying they've actually done it already. Onlinejobs.ph is a really good website to use. It's specifically designed for people that are, if you want to hire someone in the Philippines. And the Philippines is one of the best sources of getting a virtual assistant. Okay. Another one of the tips that Martin gave us was Freshdesk, which is for customer service. So instead of all the any sort of customers contacting him via email, they all go into a support desk software and they can just get filtered. And then the beauty of that is he can have his virtual assistants be assigned to different types of questions. Okay, and then he uses Camtasia for video software. So type in number 2 in the chat box if you got some good tips or some inspiration from Martin. Brilliant. Now I want to show you just a couple more things about Martin, and this is what really makes me happy when I hear these kind of stories. There's a picture of Martin doing some work on his house, and he said, "Having the freedom to work from home has also allowed me to renovate my house from top to bottom, all while working the 100K factory model and bringing a new baby into the world, a little brother for my darling daughter." And there you can see his kitchen before and after. So pretty amazing. He's completely changed his life. And not only has he renovated his house, but he also bought himself his dream car. He said, "I've also bought myself my dream car with the profits of my business, all of which would not have been possible without the 100K business." So, I mean, I get goosebumps when I'm reading through these stories because it reminds me so much of sort of my past when I was coming up here, and it still gives me those goosebumps and kind of, you know, makes me feel so excited about this whole thing. And maybe you can relate to that as well. But this is a reality, and all three people that we've shown you here today come from different backgrounds. They're all just regular people who started with a day job. Two of them have quit their day job. Thorsten decided to continue because he really enjoys his job, and he runs this on the side. So whether or not you want to set this up as a side income, or if you've got the goal to quit your day job, whatever you want to do, you can absolutely do it with this business model. So, Steve, maybe now I can hand it over to you, and you can just explain a little bit more about why we sort of call this the perfect storm and compare it to the other business models.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do we think, by the way, Martin's dream car is there? Is that a Range Rover Sport? Is that what that is? Anybody know?
Oh, we're trying to figure that out. God, there's got to be someone on the there's got to be someone on the call that can. It'll say about
I know it's a Range Rover, but I think it's a Range Rover Evoque. Okay, so it's like one of those. It's a new model. Okay, so like any good bloke from the UK, he wanted a Range Rover. Gotta love it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I really, really like this slide because I think it encapsulates why we get so excited about this business model, why we get so excited about the 100K factory revolution. You know, we've been doing this a long time, and you know, for more than 10 years, we've been developing courses and training products and software and services, all designed to help people with, you know, online business opportunities and creating online businesses. And you know, we've always done well for people, I think, and we've had good success rates. But it wasn't until we started to train people in the 100K factory model over the last couple of years where we really had, you know, it was really like an exponential jump in the success rate of people. And then not just in the rate of how many people were successful, but among those that were successful, the magnitude of that success. You know, and you're seeing just, you know, person after person after person. So you can see what we see, and we see it every day. You know, when we log into our Facebook group and for the class of 2016 for 100K Factory, and you know, in fact, and Martin's post was actually this morning when I was having my coffee. I sent that to you. So, so we get a chance to see that every day, and
it's happening every day.
Every day, and we want to keep doing it. You know, like, I mean, so it's really important to understand, like, well, what exactly is the lightning in the bottle, you know, so that we can keep doing it. And so we talk about that a lot. We think about that a lot, and we think about it in two big ways. And this slide is one of those big ways. It's kind of looking at, all right, let's look at all the things that you sort of think about when you evaluate a business model, and decide whether or not it's effective. You know, is it good for beginners? Can somebody just do it real quickly? Do you have to have a lot of money up front, capital required? How fast can you see results? What is the ultimate outlook prognosis for how big the results could be? What's the earning potential? What's the success rate? You know, how many people are who work the system are successful? Is it stable and viable? Is it going to be around a long time? Is it a flash in the pan? Is it some sort of loophole? Traffic ease. We pulled that out specifically because traffic is usually one of the usually the biggest problem that people have. And if you can get sort of a green check on all those things, then it is, you know, what you would call a perfect storm. I mean, it's a unicorn, which, you know, means that prior to this it didn't exist. And so certainly in the last decade or so since we've been doing this, we've never met a business model where we could really honestly assign green checks all the way down. Doesn't mean we don't like the business models, but if you take a look at like affiliate marketing, it's definitely not beginner friendly. It requires, you know, a lot of thought about the marketing and copywriting and so on. Success rate, you know, you have to kiss a lot of frogs really before you find your prince with affiliate marketing. That's okay. It's sort of built into the model, but you still can't give it a green check. Stability and viability tends to be much less so because it's kind of it's a little bit more flash in the pan. Traffic ease, it's always a problem. So, you know, you can't in good conscience certainly give affiliate marketing all green checks. Amazon, private label, we love that model. But, again, we have to say, yeah, you got to have capital. And, yeah, it takes a while to take your money back off the table because of the cash flow situation with inventory. So the only problem with private label, in my opinion, because we love that model, is the fact that you have to buy inventory up front, which causes you problems with capital, and it also causes you problems with the time to see results because it takes a while before you can take money off the table. Info products, you know, you got to spend a lot of time developing them, so time to see results is not that great. They don't have a huge high success rate. You typically have to try a few of them before you can really hit one out of the park, and it's always hard to drive traffic. But if you think about the 100K factory model, okay, it just scores across the board. It's absolutely beginner friendly. There's no capital required. You can see results in a matter of like weeks. The earning potential is essentially unlimited. The success rate that we've seen is through the roof. It's stable, viable. We have people that have been doing this for years. And as I'll try to point out, the traffic problem is sorted. So bottom line is, for the first time that I've seen in 10 years, is green checks across the board and is absolutely a perfect storm in this unicorn of business models. And I believe that this is probably the biggest reason, and I'll show you another reason, but this is probably the biggest reason why people are just hitting it out of the park. The other way to think about it is to think about where people often fail with online business opportunities. And I think if you look at the two things that are required for, you know, every business model, I think you'll, you know, start to get some insight as to why this model is people are so successful. So you got to have a product, right? You got to have something to sell if you're going to have a business model online. You've got to have a platform that converts, which means a website, and you've got to have reliable, targeted traffic, okay? Now, if you don't have all three of those things, it ain't going to work. You could have the best product in the world, the best website, but if you don't have any traffic, not going to happen. You got to have all three. And, you know, good business models historically have been able to nail like 2 out of 3, and then that third one, there's obstacles, there's problems, there's roadblocks for you to get around, and it's a lot of work. So some people are able to get around it, but then some people are not. So that drives the success rate down and the magnitude of those successes down. So I think it's really helpful to take a look at the 100K Factory Revolution business model, take a look at these 3 things, figure out where people often fail, and then see if this model stacks up. All right? So let's talk about a product. This model is talking about physical products, absolutely fantastic. We know that's great. We sell millions and millions of dollars a year of physical products. But the roadblock, the stumbling block, the obstacle that people typically run into is that you don't have the money to buy the cash or to buy the inventory up front, and then they, you know, don't have the money to absorb the cash flow problems that go along with that. But that is not the case with the 100K factory model. So we're fine there. Next thing that people typically run into is with product, particularly physical products, is, okay, well, go in a room and invent a great product. So you have to go be Steve Jobs now. Go invent a great product. Go invent the next iPad. Well, that's hard, to put it mildly, right? So most of us are not going to do that. Or go in a room and take this product that's already selling and make it better than the competition through some, you know, really innovative improvements. Well, that's also hard, Okay, and that's a huge roadblock and a stumbling block that people, may not be able to overcome. With the 100K factory model, what we are doing is we are simply selling products that already exist, and we're selling products that already are selling online. There's tons of signals and marketing information out there. Tell us what's selling, that tell us, where the hungry audiences are, what products have good margins. We already know all this. We're not going to reinvent the wheel. We don't have to invent a product. We don't have to change something substantially to make it better. We're just going to sell what somebody can get for us, and we already know it's selling. Okay? So we get rid of all those problems. So I'm sure you're probably wondering, okay, well, how do we do that? How can we possibly, somebody asked me the other day, how can you sell physical products without having physical products? So I thought that was a great way to put the question. So we will hopefully answer that by the time we get through all this, all right? But for now, let's talk about, with product, the places where people typically fall down, cash flow, for how to buy the product up front, that's not an issue. And inventing a product or substantially improving it, not an issue with the 100K factory revolution model, okay? So let's talk about platforms. So there are 3 areas where people, fall down or get obstacles thrown in their path when you're talking about the platform. It's technical, design, and the content that has to go on the website. So maybe people don't know what from a technical perspective, they don't know what a web server is, they don't know what HTML is, FTP, whatever it is. That becomes something they can't overcome. Or maybe it's design, like me. That would be something really difficult for me to overcome if I had to design a website that was expected to look good. So I can't draw a straight line. So that's a problem. Or some business models require these ridiculously thick websites with tons of content and, detailed articles and blog posts with unique content that engages the reader for 20 minutes and teaches them things and so on. But that's overwhelming, and that's a huge obstacle. So for the 100K factory revolution model, we've got for the tech thing, to get around the tech problem, we've got push-button software. You just push a button and it installs a template, basically a skeleton, a website that's ready for your product to be loaded on, which is just drag and drop from there too. So the technical issues are sorted. The design, since we load up a template, we've already got, the colors and the boxes and everything where it's supposed to be. And so design is not an issue. I mean, I can do it, okay? So if I can do it, you can do it. And then from we're building e-commerce sites. People don't want all the content. If you think about Amazon, Amazon is one of the ugliest websites, the thinnest websites as far as content goes on the ever made, and yet it is, certainly arguably the most successful website from a commerce perspective. And that's because people don't want a lot of content on their e-commerce sites. They just want to get in, get out, They just want this kind of a site that you see in front of you. Or more specifically, let's take a look at the kinds of sites. And this, guys, is exactly the site, the kind of site all the guys that Aiden was talking about are using. This is it right here. Okay, so it's, maybe 5 images if you've got 4 products, and the images come from, stock photo on the top, but the other images for the products come from the manufacturer, or they come from the supplier. And there's a tiny little bit of copywriting there, 26 words and some pricing. And then if you go to the product detail pages, you're talking about maybe, one more picture, maybe a magnified picture. You're going to basically copy and paste all the specifications from the manufacturer. So the bottom line is, to get the results that the folks had that Aiden were talking about, okay, to get those results, what the website that you need would take about 20 minutes to build. And that's, building in time to get up and go get a drink or something. And it also has no technical or design problems or anything like that. So I think it's pretty clear that the 100K factory model doesn't have any of those typical roadblocks, that people might run into. So now we get into the problem area, because traffic is big. Traffic is usually a real problem. In fact, do me a favor. If you guys type this in for me. If you've ever tried a business model and you felt like you really nailed all the pieces, you just got it, you understood it, you implemented it, you had no obstacles, but then it failed due to traffic, type traffic in the box. Yeah. Yep. not surprising, okay? It is definitely the usual suspect that people have problems with. So we better have a compelling case to make for the 100K factory revolution model that we're not going to have a traffic problem. And I believe we do. It's all about Facebook. All about Facebook and specifically how to use it in this way. But Facebook, I am not overstating it by saying that Facebook is the best traffic source for online commerce. Okay? And it has been this way for several years. This is not something new. It's not a flash in the pan. It's been this way for several years. It keeps actually getting better and better and better, and I see no end in sight, frankly, because it doesn't make any sense. Everybody's interests are aligned. Facebook wants us to succeed. We'll talk about that. But it's the best source, and it's the best source because we can get a lot of traffic, we can get it cheap, and it converts. It converts into buyers, and that's what you want to see. Okay, those are the things that you want. All of those together in order to have this, incredible traffic source. So let's take a look at this this slide here because I want you guys to take away two things from here. The first is this concept of return on investment for advertising. So if you look in the middle here, you'll see these boxes and the arrows, right? So on the top, you can see that this is a moment in time, a snapshot in time for this advertising campaign. We spent $135.49. And for that $135.49, Facebook sent us traffic. That traffic was actually real people. And the real people bought $1,018.76 worth of merchandise. That's kind of equivalent to Facebook saying, look, for every dollar you give me, I'm going to give you like $7 or $8 back. That is really, really, really good math. Okay? You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that. It is great, great math. And, if you have somebody on your corner who, says, hey, bub, I got a deal for you. Every dollar you give me, I'm going to give you $7 or $8 back. How many dollars are you going to give that guy? You're going to give him every single dollar that you have. Okay, because you're getting such an incredible return on your investment. Take a look at the middle, $136.22. We spent that, we gave that to Facebook, and for our $136.22, they gave us visitors to our website. Those visitors bought things to the tune of $693.17. That's like $5 for every buck. Not as good, but it's still great. And then at the bottom, that math equals $9 for every dollar, okay? So incredible return on investment, incredible opportunity where we give Facebook $1 and they give us lots of dollars back, $5, $7, $8, $9 in some cases, okay? So the secret about Facebook here is that you can always find these chunks of traffic where you get lots of dollars back for the dollar you give Facebook, okay? And the way you do that is to follow Facebook's or to use Facebook's incredible power to simply chunk up your audience. You start with a broader audience, women who like cooking or something, and all you have to do is follow just a regular standard operating procedure, paint by numbers kind of thing, a very reproducible process to just chunk up your audience and find the chunks that give you lots of dollars back for your dollar. That's it. If you look at these other boxes here, we've chunked up our audience by age, 45 to 54, 55 to 64, 35 to 44. So you can chunk up your audience by age. You can do it by gender. Okay, you can see here that we've done it by gender. You can do it by interest. Okay, so people have to like American Airlines, or maybe people have to like these travel guides, or you can even get crazy. You can do it by overlapping interests. You can get the intersection of these two. Okay. The takeaway here, guys, is that Facebook's power of being able to chunk up the audience, all right, by a set number of ways, depending on what the audience is, allows you to quickly zone in on, here are the chunks that gave me a lot of dollars back for the dollar I'm giving Facebook, okay? And if you buy that, if you believe what I just said there, which you should because it's true, then it is almost impossible to not make ridiculous profits, right? Because how bad do you have to be if somebody's giving you $8 for every dollar? How bad do you have to be to not make insane profits. I mean, it's almost impossible. But there's more to the story, because what we just discussed is really talking more about the cost of the traffic and the conversion of the traffic, like how good that traffic is, how much that those people buy. But we haven't really spoken to the volume of traffic, because I think you could be right in saying, well, okay, Steve, great. All right, I'll buy that. We could find these chunks of traffic where you can give Facebook $1, they'll give me $8 back. That's great. But at some point, those are smaller audiences, and, you'll run out of traffic, and maybe you can make $40,000, $50,000 a year. But I don't see how you make, $500,000 a year on $1 million in sales. You're right. But there's more, because we can ask Facebook to do the work for us to get the rest of that traffic. So why would they want to do that? Well, look, this is the beauty of this relationship, this symbiotic relationship between Facebook and us, or the advertisers. They want us to succeed. They need us to succeed. Why? Because they want me to give them all my dollars. They want you to give them all of your dollars, because that's how they make money. That's how they report to Wall Street. Okay, that's how they show growth quarter to quarter, year over year. So they have to do that. But the only way that I'm going to give them all my dollars, the only way that you're going to give them all your dollars, is if they create these return on investment scenarios where we get lots of dollars back, right? So they have employed all of their efforts and all of their know-how and their rocket scientists and their robots and secret artificial intelligence and God knows what else they have going on out there. I don't care, because they're employing it all to help me because they want me to succeed, all right? And so we basically say to Facebook, listen, I've got these, I spent an hour, I spent 2 hours, whatever I did. I found these chunks of audiences that were giving me great return on investment. They're giving me $5, $7, $8 back for every dollar. But I'm done now. I'd like you to do the rest. I'm going to go to the beach. And if you could be so kind, could you just keep finding me more of that traffic? Go to the other 2 billion people that you have and find out, who you think is going to give me $8 for every dollar back, and give that to me, please. And amazingly, Facebook says, okay. Really? How do they do that? Well, we put a pixel on our website, which is tracking code, and then Facebook knows everything that happens on our website. They know everybody that visits. They know all the behaviors of those visitors. And then they, in turn, also know everything about those people, because they're Facebook. They know everything about us. They know more than we really know. And what we then do is we go into Facebook and we click one mouse button, maybe it's 2, and we say, hey, can you build a lookalike audience and keep that up to date for me? And Facebook says, okay, what does that mean? What it means is they're going to do exactly what we asked them to do. They are going to continually, all right, they already know, they know who gives us lots of dollars for our dollar. They know everything because we let them in, and then they know everything about the people. So they're now going to employ their whole infrastructure, okay, for Steve. And they're going to continue to say, well, who else should we send to Steve's website? Because we're smart, really smart people, and we know these guys are going to give him lots of dollars for his dollars. And essentially what it allows you to do is amazingly effective. You can turn a very small audience of people who've come to your website and bought stuff into an avalanche, a faucet, a never-ending faucet of traffic. And not only never-ending faucet of traffic, because we got a lot, that means we met the objective, a lot of traffic, but it's cheap traffic and it converts well, which means we have that incredible return on investment. But there's even more that they do, okay? Retargeting. I'm sure you've all been a victim of this on the internet, and it's huge. It can increase your revenues or even your profits by 20% just by flipping a switch in Facebook. All right, Joe comes to your website, he looks at a backpack, he adds it to his cart, but he doesn't buy it. Okay? Facebook knows this all happened. So you can simply go to Facebook and say, hey, listen, let me see Joe. And he's watching his cat video. Can you just remind him, hey, Joe, come back. You forgot your backpack. Here's 50% off or 20% off or free shipping, whatever it is. 20% increase across the board. That's how Facebook can work for you. And they have lots of other different things that they do, okay? But we're not going to get into all those. But the 2 that I just told you, lookalike audience and retargeting, if you did just those, you're good, okay? You're sitting back and you're letting Facebook do the work for you. I mean, do you guys see how this solves the traffic problem completely and totally? So before I ask that, though, let me ask, So we talked about the pitfalls, the obstacles that people typically get with the product. And we showed you how that's not an issue with the 100K factory model. We talked about the website and the problems that people run into. We show how that's not a problem with the 100K factory model. And then we just spent a lot of time on traffic. So do you guys buy this, yes or no? Did we prove the point? Yep. Okay, good. I think so. And that's why it's all green, too, you know? I mean, it's definitely why it's all green. All right. So, the other thing, I don't have to tell you guys, retail is growing. It's never going to stop. But if it stops, I don't care. $5.25 billion, $6 billion, whatever it is, it's unbelievable. And here, this is your traffic right here. It's never going to stop. I mean, not in the foreseeable future. And literally every day, Facebook is saying, oh, you're new to Facebook, which they get, I don't know how many new every day, but whatever it is, it's an amazing number. You're new to Facebook. Would you be good to send to Steve? Because we've told them to be on the lookout and continue to give us more traffic. That is what they do. That's what they do for us every single second of the day. And the other thing they do is as people's demographics change, like maybe Mary turns 40, all of a sudden she's in her 40s, and Facebook goes, you might be interested in Steve's stuff now. I'm going to send you to him. This is what they do. It's unbelievable. So just to give you guys a quick, recap of this business model, because I want to make sure that you really understand, okay? Up in the left-hand corner, that's the website. We talked about what the website is. You saw what it looks like. We talked about what products you're going to put on there, things that are already sold. You don't need to invent them. We talked about the traffic, okay, and where that all came from. All right, so let's walk through a quick scenario on why this model is so amazing. So Joe Smith comes to your website Monday morning, 9 o'clock. Facebook sent Joe Smith to your website because Facebook knows that Joe Smith is probably going to buy your stuff, right? Joe Smith comes to the website. He sees a red widget he can't do without, puts it in the cart, goes to the checkout. We add $2.50 to the $15 for the red widget. He clicks the buy button, and instantly our hero, who's happy here because he's getting paid first, instantly our hero gets $17.50, right? He hasn't done anything as far as buying any stock or anything like that. He gets $17.50. Later on in the day, he decides to process the orders, or he's using our software and it happens automatically. But later on in the day, he decides to process the orders, and he goes over to the manufacturer and he says, hey, Joe Smith needs a red widget. Can you please send it to him? Here's his address. Here's his information. Here's $10 for the red widget and the shipping. I'll take the tracking number, please. I'll report all that back to Joe, and I will pocket the $7.50 for my trouble. So that's why our hero is happy, because he gets paid first, he gets profit, and he never has to see the merchandise. It's completely hands-off. And that's the beauty of this model and why it's all green checks and why. There you go.
So guys, can you see why we are referring to this as the perfect storm now? I mean, Steve's been making a case for it over the past few moments. Just type yes in the chat box if you can see how powerful this business model is. It's unlike any kind of e-commerce model that we've ever used in the past, and it's getting better year after year after year, and the more that we learn about it, the better that we do from it. I mean, it really has become the perfect storm of e-commerce, and one of the reasons is because you can control everything. It's not a game of chance, okay? It works fast. I mean, you've seen the astonishing velocity that people can launch a website and see results, and all of this combines to make your results inevitable. Your earning potential is huge. Now, if you've been on a workshop with us in the past couple of days, you may have seen a new website that we launched on that we purchased, I should say, on the 16th of February. Now, check this out. These are the first 10 days. The first 3 days there, the website was just getting set up, and we could have done it faster, to be honest. The fourth day did about $60. The fifth day did about $90. The sixth day did almost $200, and the seventh day did $204, I think it was. But over $200. I mean, and again, we're always talking around about a 40 to 50% profit margin. How would you like to be able to do that on your website? Because we've got this down to a fine art at this point. I mean, we've got this down to a science. Okay, so here's what the website looks like. It's nothing, it's nothing out of this world, but man, does it convert? And we're selling all kinds of weird little products on there, like Chinese musical instruments, like a pan flute necklace, like a camouflage walkie-talkie. But these products, people buy these products. We know how to target the people that want these products. They buy the products, and you don't have to make that many sales to be at $200 a day. Just imagine, I mean, if you make 3 or 4 sales, you're already potentially at $200 a day. So here's a recap of how it works. Here's an example ad, and this is a good example ad to remember for the future, okay? We run this simple ad. It's selling these little pocket watches. Now, these pocket watches are things that might be used by medical practitioners, so nurses, doctors, people who are helping in hospitals, and that makes the targeting pretty easy, right? Because we can just target people like nurses, right? So we target a whole bunch of nurses. They see the ad. They click on the ad. They come to your website. Some people are going to buy. When the order is placed, you instantly get your money in your PayPal account and you're good to go. Now, there's a couple of things that can make ads. So it's a really simple process. There are a couple of things that can make ads, succeed or fail. There's one thing in particular that will absolutely make or break your ad campaign, your advertisement. What is it? Type in the chat box if you can hazard a guess. There's one element of your ad, and you've got 2 example ads here. There's one element of the ad which is absolutely critical. It's the picture. It's the image. It's absolutely critical. And if you remember back to the start of this workshop, the 3 people that we created case studies about, they all said the same thing. The image is absolutely key. So remember that when you're running your campaigns, put a little bit more work maybe into the image. A lot of people don't even read the text. Okay, a lot of people don't even read the text. In fact, we've even got a spelling mistake on where it says worldwide on that on the telescopic fishing rod. Okay. Now there's another thing that you can do, a simple thing that you can do on these types of ads to boost conversion rate. To boost click-through rate, I should say. Can anyone hazard a guess as to what it might be to boost the click-through rate? There's one thing that you can do. If you put that link in there 3 times, 3 links, that will boost your click-through rate every single time. And we've seen that it boosts it by about 15%. And there's a few different theories as to why this may be. One is just simply that people see the link there 3 times and they've got like more of a urgency to click on it. Another is that some people have fat fingers and maybe by having the link there it's easier for them to click. But regardless, it doesn't really matter why it happens, but it absolutely happens. Okay. So remember that when you're creating your ads, really good image and 3 links. Now here you can see the results of the first 10 days, and there it is, day 7, $205 came in. So pretty exciting stuff. Type in number 1 in the chat box if you'd be pretty happy with this in your first 10 days. Most people would take this in their first 10 days. I mean, most people would probably be happy with this in their first month, $1,300. Now, I could have shown you a screenshot here of websites that we've got which have earned thousands of dollars in their first few days, but that's harder for most people to kind of wrap their head around it. Jesse is asking, is the profit margin 40 to 50%? Yes, that's absolutely right, 40 to 50%. So $1,300 in orders, that represents $625 profit, which is not too bad, brand new website. The average order value is $18.22. You can see that orders are rolling in every couple of hours here. And you can see the value of the orders on the right-hand side, $8, $11, $31, $48. It's easy to scale. Check this out, $40,500 in 2 months. From the 1st of December to the 28th of January. Now that represents close to $20,000 profit. This is and these are all student results by the way, this is one of our students who's up in Canada and she did 2,511 orders in 1 month, and that resulted in $61,640, which is somewhere between $25,000 to $30,000 profit. Pretty decent. And you can see hundreds of thousands of dollars coming in day after day after day here. This is inspiring stuff. This is motivating, right? And even just a fraction of this would make most people pretty darn happy. But the thing about this business model is it's so easy to scale. This is one of my favorite stories here. This person here is a real estate agent. They've worked in real estate for the past 20 years, and they've been doing this business model for the past couple of months. And they are now at the point where they are earning significantly more from this business model than they're earning from their career, which they've been working in for 20 years. How awesome is that? I mean, this is the beauty of the internet, right? We can, one of the things that is absolutely critical if you want to make a lot of money from online businesses, online websites, you have to be able to reach a wide number of people. And that's what we can do with this business model. That's why this person is able to earn hundreds and hundreds of dollars, not per day, but per hour. And they've dwarfed the income in their career that they've been working on for 20 years. So they worked 20 years in their career as a real estate agent, and within 2 months, they've quadrupled or more, actually much more than that, the income that they're making in their career. It's amazing. And there's no limit to this. $219,000 in January. Again, student results. This is the big opportunity right now because you can piggyback on the major trend that is online e-commerce, Facebook traffic, and use a system that plain works. Now is the time to build a life-changing real business. You've got two paths. One is to go it alone. This is what I did when I got started. I was living in Auckland, New Zealand at the time. And I was working in my day job, and I was basically for 2 years I was doing trial and error. And for me, it felt like 2 steps forward, 3 steps backwards sometimes. Just type yes if you can relate to that. If you've been struggling maybe to make your breakthrough on online marketing for a while, sometimes it feels like you make 2 steps forward and then 2 steps backwards. Or heck, for me sometimes it was like 2 steps forwards and 3 steps backwards. But that's unfortunately a path that many of us take. But it's not necessary to take that path. It's easy for me to say that in hindsight, right? I've got the gift of being able to look back now. But 8 to 12 weeks, that's what some of our most dedicated students have been able to do. In 8 to 12 weeks, they've been able to build businesses that earn at a rate of over $100,000 per year or more. RICARDO, 55 days. In his first 55 days, he earned $5,000 using the system. One of the common questions that we get is, well, how fast can you make money with this system? If I come into the 100K Factory program, how fast can I make money? RICARDO did $5,000 in his first 55 days, and that was last year, okay? The system that we've got this year is even more streamlined. It's an even more well-oiled machine, and you can get results even faster. Now, one of the other things that RICARDO did there is not only did he make $5,000 in his first 55 days, but he also got to an earning rate of $405 per day. $405 per day is about $147,000 per year. That's earnings, not profit. So $405 per day, that's about $200 profit per day, which is still pretty decent, right? We're always talking about a 40 to a 50% profit margin. But that's 55 days, guys. Here you can see Rory. He published this in our Facebook group after 78 days. He had been a member for 78 days, and on the 78th day, he published this in the Facebook group saying he had done $1,467 in sales in one single day. I mean, that's amazing. I don't know any other business model where you can go from zero without investing hardly anything and be earning over $1,000 a day in 78 days. It's off the charts. Check out this, Nico's. We've spoken a lot about him because he's inspirational. $1 million in his first 213 days in this program. He is inspirational. And if you look closely at that green graph, look how he scaled. That's very similar to what Thorsten did, right? Remember right at the start I showed you Thorsten and the other guys as well. This is something that just works. It's very, very scalable. And being able to follow in the footsteps of people who have already done what you want to do is one of the fastest paths to success. This is not rocket science. This is why so many people hire personal trainers, or they go to schools to learn things. They go to learn from experts, people who have been there and done it. And the beauty of this business model is that you can run it alongside whatever else you're doing. All of the case studies that we've shown you, absolutely all of them, the people that are absolutely creaming it from this business model started out while they had a day job. Now, of the 3 people I showed you at the beginning, 2 of them have now quit their day job. But you can definitely start this and run it alongside your day job. We've sold millions of dollars online in physical products over the past decade, but the thing that really inspires us is helping regular people get life-changing results and reach their dreams. I mean, these kind of success stories never get old. You know, seeing people like Thorsten come in and absolutely crush it, seeing people like Martin come in and then send us in photos of his daughter and his son, and he's been able to renovate his house and buy his dream car, you know. Or Satish in India, who says, I had the pleasure of actually meeting Satish a couple of weeks ago, and he told me to my face, this has really transformed my life. He earned $100,000 in his first 5 months, and then $100,000 in the last 3. Eriko from Japan, $50,000 in profits in her first few months. This is life-changing. Look at Brandon. Brandon from the USA, I've made $1,300 per day in sales and profiting up to $600. Anyone can do this. It works for anyone. It doesn't matter what your background is. We've got men and women from all corners of the globe, people who speak English as a second language. It just doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are. It just doesn't matter. As long as you can follow a simple system, implement and learn, okay? We want you to be the next success story. We are absolutely certain that you can do it, and we've put together a complete package of training, tools and hand-holding support. And for the first time ever, we'll actually do it for you. We're giving you everything you need to change your life with this business starting today, and we've packaged it all up in the 100K Factory Revolution program. Now, this program can give you the freedom that you want. So, you know, when I got started, I was looking for geographic freedom. I wanted to be able to travel the world. I wanted to be able to shift to Argentina, which is where my wife is from, and online marketing gave me that. But that was an inferior model that I was using to what exists today, okay? You've seen from the case studies, people have been able to quit their day jobs. They've been able to generate more family time. Financial freedom, location freedom, time freedom, whatever you want, you can have it with this business model. It's got 3 phases. The first phase is to initiate. This is where we take you from zero to earning $274 per day, which is $100,000 per year. We then focus on automating, so scaling up your business and earning more, and then replicating. We've got this down to a fine art. Everything we do in phase 1 is in the first 8 weeks, and everything that we've discussed so far, everything that Steve explained, is in the first 8 weeks in phase 1. This is when we show you how to launch a website and how to sprint to earning thousands of dollars per day, just like in the screenshot you can see right here. Brand new websites. I mean, we've done this so many times now. Our students have done it so many times now. We've got an exact formula. We know it works. And we guide you through the system step by step by step. And we'll come back to this chart a little bit later on here. We've got 8 components in the 100K Factory Revolution model, and they are all designed to make your life easier, okay? So game changer number 1 is the blueprint. This is the top secret recipe. This is how we operate this business model, okay? It's got a value of $2,997. This is everything that we've learnt over the past few years. Game changer number 2 is the command center. This is how you build, install, and populate your website in a matter of seconds. This is completely brand new. This is not the same as the command center that we had previously, okay? This is built from the ground up. Game changer number 3 is the ignition packs. Now, over and over and over again over the past decade, I've seen that people struggle online when they have challenges choosing the wrong niche or the wrong product. Type yes in the chat box if at some time you think you've struggled because you chose the wrong product or the wrong niche. I've seen it probably thousands of times at this point, definitely hundreds of times. If you get the wrong product or the wrong niche, it's going to be an uphill battle on day one. So what we've done here over the past 6 months, we've had a small team working behind the scenes, putting together what we call ignition packs. These ignition packs are done for you, businesses in a box. We've got 500 niches selected. Each niche has 2 products, so 1,000 pre-selected products. We've got detailed demographic data. And we've got a social influence report, and we show you, we actually take screenshots from inside of Facebook and show you how to do the targeting. So we have absolutely eliminated this as a potential place that you can fall over. You've got the accelerators. These are a whole range of different tools which you can use to build your website, to build funnels, to build landing pages, to create your images. Remember we said that the images are absolutely key. Well, we've developed what we call an ad building engine. And it's not like Photoshop, it's not like Paint, it's something where you go through a process, click through a few buttons, and it makes these perfect images built for Facebook every single time. There's a lot more there as well. The accelerators has got a value of $2,997. The 5th game changer is Vulcan. Type number 1 in the chat box if you've ever experimented with Facebook advertising. Perhaps you've done some form of Facebook advertising in the past. And if you haven't, it's absolutely fine. But the point I want to make here, and the people that have tried Facebook advertising will know this, is that Facebook gives you a lot of data, okay? And you need to analyze and interpret this data. And if you do it wrong, you can't succeed. So, you know, we think that we've got pretty good at analyzing the data and making decisions. We think that's one of our strong suits. But even so, human error can creep in from time to time. So what we've developed is a marketing supercomputer that controls your campaigns with machine-like precision. It automatically crunches all the important metrics, slices and dices all the data, looks at all the different things that Facebook can give you, and then tells you what to do. It leverages our proprietary advertising algorithm, tells you when to kill your ads, when to scale your ads, when to change your ads. It eliminates human error, it saves you time, and it makes you more money. This is an absolute game changer. Nothing like this has ever existed before. Nothing like this has ever existed before. We've been running Facebook ads for years now. We've been searching for something like this, but it hasn't existed, so we've just built it ourselves. Okay, and you're going to get complete access to that. You're getting the operations hub. This is our warehouse in North Carolina. Type in number 1 in the chat box if you do not live in the United States. Perhaps you're overseas somewhere. Perhaps a lot of people here are in Australia. I saw that. I saw a lot of New Zealanders here. I saw a lot of Canadians here. Got a lot of people in Europe that are here. If you're not in the United States, it's incredibly helpful to have an address in the United States. And not just an address, but a fully fledged warehouse. And it's not really realistic for anyone. It doesn't matter where you are to own your own warehouse or to have your own warehouse space. It's just not really realistic that one person would have an enormous warehouse for themselves. But that's what we're giving you here, because we do have an enormous warehouse all for ourselves, and we're extending that use to you. Okay, so we've got a warehouse in North Carolina. Now, regardless of if you are in the United States, if you're not in the United States, the warehouse is going to be an essential part of your operation. It's where you can process your refunds. We get about 1 refund for every 300 orders, and so we process them all there. We also use this warehouse for fulfilling orders. We use it for storing bulk stock purchases and much, much more. It can help you scale. It's got a value of $1,497. We've got the Alliance. This is the members-only Facebook community. This is how you can connect with your fellow members, keep your finger on the pulse of advanced new tactics, and is another avenue to ask questions, get support, And Steve and I, we're in the group every single day. And then we've got the coaching. We offer unbeatable coaching. We offer unprecedented support. We've got an entire team behind the scenes who are ready to help you. We've got technical experts. We've got strategy experts. And Steve and I are in the trenches every single day replying to emails as well. We've got you 100% covered. If you're worried about anything, if you've got any concerns at all, believe me, we can help you get past anything, because we've been in this business for a long time. We've probably faced almost every problem that you could imagine, and if we haven't, we've got an amazing team who can help. Okay, the coaching's got a value of $9,997. We actually charge $12,000 per year for one-on-one coaching. And in this program, you're not just getting access to Steve and myself, but you're also getting the entire team. Now, we do have a special bonus available for people that are on this workshop that jump into the 100K Factory program. There's 3 of them, actually. The first is the recordings from the 100K Brain Trust event. This meeting was in Las Vegas just 2 weeks ago. And what we did was we had 20 people. We flew them in from all corners of the globe. These are 20 super sellers. And we just sat down for an entire day and spoke about the business model. We dived deep into every single facet of the business, and we recorded everything. If you jump in with us today, you're going to get this special bonus. You're also going to get Crowdforce, which is something that can be used to drive traffic to your websites, but also, even perhaps more importantly for this business model, is to reverse engineer your competitors' Facebook pages, because what it can do is it can suck in all of the posts from your competitors' Facebook pages, and it can tell you the ones that had the most shares, the ones that had the most likes, the ones that had the most comments, and those posts are typically the ones that are the most successful. Okay, so it's a great way to identify winning products, and you're getting the super seller secrets as well. So we convinced one of our super sellers, this is someone that's making $4,000 to $5,000 per day from his business. And he shared how he built his store at lightning fast speed, saw sales rolling in just a few days. Okay. Now, these 2 presentations have never been seen before by the public. They've been locked down to our special mastermind, but you will get access to them. So here's a recap of what you're getting. You're getting the blueprint, the command center, the ignition packs, the accelerators, Vulcan, the warehouse, the Facebook Alliance, the coaching, and the bonuses. It's got a complete value of $33,611. We've spent over $400,000 developing the different components here, and that doesn't include the hundreds of thousands that we've used testing and the hundreds of hours we've spent actually developing this program and planning out the curriculum and all that. This is extremely limited. We've had over 13,975 people sign up to the waiting list after we shut down 10 months ago. Our personal time is being invested here supporting you when you jump in. We've got an amazing team of coaches, but their time is also very limited. And of course, we've got a limited number of those ignition packs. We will shut down when we hit capacity, just like we did in 2016. We have no plans to reopen this. The potential to change your life is huge. You don't want to miss this. You won't pay $33,611. You won't pay $14,997. You've seen the income earning potential here. If you can get just 10% per month of what some of our other students are getting, like if you can get just $4,000 or $5,000 per month, would it be worth investing $9,997? And if you could get that kind of passive income, if you could clear your debts, pay the rent, pay the mortgage every single month, would this be worth investing in? Hopefully you can see that it would. We wanted to make this as affordable as we could to as many people as we could though. So you won't pay $9,997. You won't pay $4,997. You can get complete access today for 3 payments of $9,997. In fact, you can get started for even less. We've got 2 payment options available. The first is a one-time payment of $2,497. If you take the one-time payment option, you save $494. The other option is a split payment, 3 payments of $997. We are 100% committed to your success. We will do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to ensure that you succeed with this. If we have to drag you kicking and screaming to the finish line, we will do it. You can move forward at your own pace, but we're going to make sure, as long as you do some work, we're going to make sure that you get money rolling in here. we've got a 100% money-back guarantee. You've got 60 days to test this out for yourself. 60 days is plenty of time to see money rolling in. Remember, I showed you a photo of Ricardo. He earned $5,000 in his first 55 days. This year, the system works even faster, so you can absolutely expect to have money rolling in well before the refund period rolls around, okay? Now, you might be thinking, that's great, you're 100% covered for the investment in 100K Factory Revolution, but what happens if you follow the training and you just can't get it to work? We've got you covered because we've got a double guarantee. So not only are we offering you a 100% money-back guarantee for the first 60 days, but if you test everything out and you just can't get it to work, not only will we refund you, but we'll give you $500 cash on top of that as well. So as long as you follow every step of the training curriculum without deviation and actively use our support system and our tools and our resources, we guarantee to buy back your business for $500 if for some weird reason you're unable to make sales. This is how confident we are in this business model. No one offers this kind of bonus. Do you know the only reason we can offer this kind of guarantee? Do you know the only reason we can offer this kind of guarantee? Because we know the system works. We are 100% confident in our ability to teach you and show you how to make money from your website, and we know it works. We want to make this a complete no-brainer for you. We are 100% invested in your success. We want to change your life. We want to give you the opportunity to change your life. And we don't want you to worry about anything. We don't want anything to prevent you from giving this a try. We know that it's scary to invest in a program, right? But we also know the benefit when you come out the other side. So you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain here. Don't wait any longer to sign up. We opened this on Monday. Spaces are filling up very fast. It's only available on a first-come, first-served basis. We are very limited in the number of people that we can take in here, and we are getting very, very close to capacity. You could, if you wait until tomorrow, you might come in, you might go to this URL, 100kfactory.com/go, try to sign up, and maybe it just doesn't work because maybe it's sold out. Okay? If you want to secure your spot, jump in right now. Otherwise, you will regret it if you're left out on the outside. Okay? When we shut down last time, we had 13,000 people join our waiting list. You do not want to be left on the outside because once we shut down, that's it. We don't send out another email a few days later saying, hey, do you want to get back in? No, that's it. We're locked down and we're working with the members. So it really is a case of if you want to jump in, now is the time to jump in. Okay? We can condense your learning curve from years into just 12 weeks. This is huge. Okay, if you're jumping in right now, type your name in the chat box. If you've just jumped in, if you've taken the leap of faith, congratulations. We do have a special bonus for the first 20 people that do jump in here. So it looks like Jesse has jumped in. I'm going to read out a few of the names of the people that have already gone ahead and jumped in. So just bear with me while I do that. We've had William, Ian, David, Antoine, Patricia, Alan, Sherry, Michael, Kim, Christopher, and Geese have jumped in. So that's 11 people have jumped in. We've got 9 more of these special bonuses left. If you're in the process of jumping in right now, type in number 1 in the chat box. If you have already jumped in the past few moments and you've finished jumping in, type confirmed in the chat box. So I can see that Simon is jumping in, William is jumping in, Leonie, Greg, John, Dennis, Yorick, Joseph, David, Gio, Morris, Brian, Min, Susan, William, and a bunch of people are saying they have confirmed as well. So guys, this is what you're going to get if you jump in right now. Dan, Cody, I see your names there as well. Let me know once you've confirmed, once you finish paying. You can pay with PayPal, you can pay with a credit card. Let me know and you're going to get this special bonus, okay? The first bonus is Bounce Breaker. This is our state-of-the-art conversion suite. Bounce Breaker allows you to build dynamic pop-ups, attention grabber plugins, announcement bars, page takeover pop-ups, countdown timers, and much, much more. We sell this for $97 a month. You're getting unlimited access to this, okay? You're getting 100 extra ignition packs. By the way, if you've already joined, guys, if you'd already joined previously, I'm going to make sure you get all of these bonuses as well. 100 extra ignition packs. These things are like gold, okay, because they're going to save you an enormous amount of time. They're going to eliminate your errors. We're tackling one of the most critical components here head on by just doing it for you. We've pre-selected 100 niches, pre-selected 200 products, and you're going to get complete access to an extra 100 ignition packs. Okay, we've done all the targeting, all the demographic data is in there waiting for you. And the other bonus that you're going to get if you're in the people that jump in right now, you're going to be invited to participate in the Success Panel question and answer session. This is where you get the chance to ask questions to our panel of experts. Okay, our panel of people who came into the program 1 year ago and are earning over $1,000 per day. You get the chance to ask them a question or questions, learn from their success, learn from their mistakes. Okay? This is an amazing opportunity, guys. We're going to take some questions now. If you've got a burning question, type it in the chat box, and we would love to be able to answer that for you. Okay? Now, one of the questions I got here is we seem to have a lot of people here. If you were in the Ultra program, and you know what I'm talking about, if you were in Ultra but you haven't jumped into this yet, just type a 2 in the chat box, because I just want to know how many of you are on the call so I can make a special message to you guys, because I know that there are a lot of you and you're probably thinking, you know, is this something I need to upgrade to? I want to emphasize 2 very important things here. One of the reasons that people have struggled in the past is because they don't know how, or they struggle to manage their campaigns. And that's exactly why we developed Vulcan. We've invested a huge amount of money in Vulcan, in developing Vulcan, to eliminate the challenges that exist with optimizing a Facebook campaign. Now, we've survived without Vulcan for many years, but now we are thriving with Vulcan. Okay, Vulcan is allowing us to scale our businesses unlike ever before. It's allowing us to make sure that we make the right decision every single time. If you've ever struggled with understanding how to interpret your data and understanding what you should do next, then Vulcan is an absolute game changer. Okay. And I'm specifically, this applies to everyone, but I'm also specifically talking to the people who are part of Ultra, okay? Now, the other thing I'll say, and this is another huge difference to what we had last year, are the ignition packs. 500 ignition packs, actually 600, because we're giving you another 100 if you jump in right now as well. These here are worth the price of admission. What you're getting here is about 7,000 pages of market intelligence, market research that's been done for you. You will never, ever have any issue identifying a niche, identifying a product to sell, identifying the demographic data ever again, period. Okay. The other thing that we're doing differently this year is we are focusing on using Shopify. Okay, you can still use WordPress. WordPress is still a great platform. I showed you some screenshots at the start of the call from students of our 2016 program who are using WordPress. But we are focusing on Shopify this year, and there's a whole bunch of different reasons why we're doing that, and we'll explain those to you once you're on the inside. Now, one of the common things that people say about Shopify is, well, hang on a minute, doesn't Shopify cost you money? Yeah, Shopify is a paid platform, but we've negotiated a special deal, unlike anything else that anyone has ever negotiated with Shopify, actually. I've got a contact who is one of the managers at Shopify, and he was able to hook us up with a very special deal, whereby, essentially, the way it's going to work out is you're going to have enough time to be making money before you need to actually pay 1 cent to Shopify. Okay, so that's another big bonus. I mean, there's a ton of little things behind the scenes that we're not even mentioning here, guys. So if you've got a burning question, if you're on the fence, and because there's still hundreds and hundreds of people on this call, if you're on the fence and you are still trying to decide whether or not you should jump in, and you've got a question, or you just want to mention something to us, type fence in the chat box, and then tell us what it is. Why are you on the fence? Tell us what the question is, and we would love to be able to help you. We don't have any upsells, we don't have any downsells, no side sells, nothing like that. This is it. We would love to have you on the inside. So, Steve, maybe we could identify some questions and just start taking questions here.
Yeah, absolutely. One of them just lost it. I hate this chat box here. One of them just was asking, why don't customers go directly to AliExpress to purchase? And, we get this question all the time. It's either this question or the question about shipping times. And the fact is, first of all, they don't even know that AliExpress exists for the most part. I mean, you ask the average person, they have no idea what AliExpress is. And secondly, they just don't, probably for the same reason that if I see something that I'd like to get, I don't go out and go to 15 different websites to try and find price or something, because I'm in the funnel. I'm in the zone. I'm being marketed to, and I'm being walked through the process. It just is not an issue that people go to AliExpress to avoid buying from these websites. It doesn't happen. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think, okay, we got some tags. So how much time per week will I need to make this work? I already have 2 jobs, and I'm a single mom. There you go. Okay, so we estimate that it would be around 15 hours a week-ish for the first, say, 4 to 6 weeks. But I will say that, you could absolutely work at your own pace. I mean, if it normally takes 15, but you could only apply 6 or 7, that's okay. This opportunity is not going anywhere, So maybe it takes you an extra 2 weeks to do something instead of 1 week. That's all right. It doesn't matter. You can absolutely go at your own pace. We're here to help you no matter where you are along the curriculum. But then after you've developed a business, and you're looking at a $100,000 to $200,000 a year profit business, that's something that can reasonably be run by one person with about 10 hours a week. Pretty damn good hourly rate, quite frankly. Let's see. Is there an ongoing fee to your company? No, there's not. Definitely not. How much money do I need to invest in addition to the member fee? Yeah, so kind of a similar question. No more money with us. You're hiring us essentially for the training and the tools, and it's one price. But there are some other incidental costs. No business is zero to start, but this one's about as close as you're ever going to get. You're talking about a domain or 2, so under $10. You're talking about some hosting, which is again maybe $10. And you're talking about some micro budgets to test those chunks of traffic that I was talking about before. So you're talking tens of dollars there. So all in, it's nothing that would be considered consequential as far as I can see. How do I access the game changers? They're all part of the course. So everything comes together. It's all in one system. Let's see. Do I find? Just
keep asking questions, guys. I'm busy flagging the questions so that Steve can see them, because we've got so many comments and questions. A lot of people are saying they're jumping in. So if you've got a question, a burning question you need to answer, now is the time to do it. This may be one of the last workshops that we do. We are getting close to capacity, so I want to make sure that you've got all the information you need right now to make an informed decision before we finish this call. So, guys, keep typing in questions if you've got a question.
Leon is asking, do I have to find suppliers to drop ship from, or will it come from your warehouse? Actually, neither one of those things. You don't have to find them at all. In fact, we've just been talking about AliExpress. Go to AliExpress. You just found them, or you found a ton of them. They're not the only place we can go to, but it's certainly the place to start because it's just really easy. So if you go there, you'll see tons of suppliers. They're ready to do business with you right this second. And the warehouse, I think sometimes there's some confusion. The warehouse at first, when you're building a business, is only going to be used for returns. It's only when you start to make, $1 million a year in revenue or something where it might make sense to start to use the warehouse as a place to do bulk orders and fulfill out of there. But that's something definitely down the line. But it's a problem to have, because it could give you an opportunity to, really, really boost your business. So let's see. Hey, is my audio okay?
It's a little bit scratchy. It's not perfect, but it's still make it out.
Okay, I'm gonna switch to a different. I just had a problem with my headphones here, so. When the customer gets the order, which price will be in their receipt, ours or the supplier's price? You actually make a note with the suppliers to say, do not put a receipt in. This is a drop ship order. And so they don't see an invoice or a receipt, so you don't have to worry about any of that. Okay. Let's see. Before I pay for the system, can you send me the draft document of your guarantee to buy back your business for $500?
I can take that one. You can just take a photo.
And can you put it up on the screen?
Yeah, I wanted to put that up on the screen. You can take a photo of this right now on your phone or whatever it is. I mean, we're not fighting from this.
You can take a screenshot, a picture of it. That's the best I can do for you.
Yep.
So, we stand by our reputation. We have an excellent reputation in this industry. So, I'm going to quickly switch this out.
So I'm going to take a few more of these questions here. How do you deal with the delay time for shipping from AliExpress? This is a bit of a misconception, actually, because you can ship from AliExpress in about a week, but we do have our warehouse in the United States, which we leverage as well, and we especially leverage that over what we call the surge season, which is Christmas, because that's when a lot of sellers struggle, but we don't struggle because we've got a warehouse, and you won't struggle either because you'll have our warehouse. We've also got a warehouse in China, which I haven't spoken about, but you will find out about that.
One of my favorite questions.
Go ahead.
Somebody's asking, what is it like filing taxes with this income? Again, it's kind of a good problem to have. If you're, and I'm not exactly sure where you're answering that question from, but if you're outside of the United States, you don't have any tax liability to the United States with this business model. So you don't have any income tax liability to the U.S. or any kind of sales tax collection liability. So, business as usual. You're paying taxes on the earnings that you make. So.
Steve, there's a question here from Neelam. Neelam says, I got an email that said that this business model was just a trend, meaning that it's a loophole, a window of opportunity, make some good money, and then it's all just going to implode, basically. That's paraphrasing what he said.
Yeah, I guess in evaluating that, I would want to look for some sort of facts that would back that statement up. The only facts that I have at my disposal are ones that would refute that statement. What could cause that problem? Well, the traffic to dry up. That's not going to happen. Facebook likes advertisers. That's the only way they make money. And they particularly like physical product sales because there are no compliance issues with that or anything like that. People, see a physical product, they buy it. It's not like there's any kind of issues with that. So I don't see any problem there. Is China or other manufacturers, are we going to stop having goods made, for, cheaper? I don't see that happening. Are we going to change the supply chain to be less efficient than it is now? And I don't see that happening. So I don't know. You'd have to give me some sort of reason other than just to say, that the sky is falling. All I see are facts that would point to the opposite of that.
Yeah. Just a little side comment here. A lot of people who have, I think, already jumped in have been saying that if you need to see the guarantee in writing, it's actually on the cart page. You can go to 100kfactory.com/go and you can see it there. So it's all written out there. You can see that. So thank you for pointing that out. Let me just see if we can do a bit of a recap now, because I know some people are probably wanting a recap. Does anyone else have any specific questions? Anyone else who is just waiting to jump in? Perhaps you've got a specific question, because we've still got over 600 people on the call right now, and that's a lot of people. I know why they're waiting. They're waiting because we need to give away the $5,000. So why don't we do that right now? We'll get that one done. So I can't imagine they're just enjoying hanging out with us here, Steve.
He always forgets. He looks up and he goes, "Oh my God, everybody's still here. They must want to hang out." And then he goes, "Oh, now I remember." Yeah.
So what I'm doing behind the scenes here is I'm using a random number generator, and we can create a number between 1 to 623, which is how many people are on the call. And then I can apply that number and see the person that it corresponds to. So the person that has won the $5,000 is Jason Chen. Jason Chen. Jason, type your email in the chat box. Congratulations, $5,000. That is awesome. Well done. You have won. Thanks for turning up here, buddy. We'll get that paid out to you via PayPal. And lots of people are typing, "Congratulations, Jason." And some people are saying, "You chose the wrong name." Everyone had the same opportunity. All right, so any other questions, guys? I know that a lot of people have jumped in already. If you haven't jumped in yet and you're still hanging out on this call, is there something else you need us to cover? Let us know if you've got another question. In the meantime, I'm going to recap the different things that you're getting as part of the package here. Okay. Firstly, let's start with the 7 steps. This is what we worked through in the first 8 weeks. Hand pick a product. This is what you use. This is what you use our ignition packs for. We've got 500 ignition packs, and if you're on this call, you're going to get another 100. So 600 ignition packs. 1,200 products. You're going to be able to find a niche and a product in there, okay? So that's done for you. Number 2 is installing your store. You can do this at the push of a button right from your command center. That's done for you. Number 3 is identifying your buyers. Now, every single one of the products that we have identified have got target audiences identified for them. So that's done for you. Number 4 is initiate the traffic machine. We give you some training and show you how to turn on the traffic with Facebook. And then you can use our Vulcan Ninja software to help you optimize and run your campaign. Okay, so number 4 requires a little bit of work on your part, but it's then number 5 is done for you. Okay, number 6 is launching your super funnel. Does anyone here use a software like Lead Pages or ClickFunnels? Just type a 1 in the chat box if you use one of those tools to make like landing pages, squeeze pages, things like that. If you do use those, you won't need to use them anymore. So you'll be able to actually save money. Brian says he uses Thrive Leads. That's another good one. They're great tools, but we've got our own tool that we use to create our super funnels. We can create landing pages, and that's in step number 6. And we've also got copy and paste done for you scripts there as well. So number 6 is done for you. And then 7, rinse and repeat. We've got a whole sort of suite of tools to help you rinse and repeat and scale your business. So I'm going to go through them quickly, each one now, and then we're going to wrap this call up. Game changer number 1 is the blueprint. This is the top secret recipe that shows you how to build an insanely lucrative business in under 60 days. You've seen, we've got unlimited proof at this point. We've got hundreds and hundreds of students who are successfully working the system, and you can do it too. We've got the entire blueprint laid out. We've got an entire curriculum that we're going to be walking you through week by week by week. We've got a case study that we're going to be building in front of you. You're going to get homework every week. We're going to be able to hold you accountable week after week after week. So if you're looking for an accountability partner, we can also fill that void. Okay, so the blueprint's got a value of $2,997. You're getting the command center. This is how you control your entire operation. It makes it easy to grow and control your business. You're getting the ignition packs. I've spent a long time talking about these because this solves one of the big issues that people have. These have got a value of $2,497. We've invested $75,000 creating these ignition packs over the past 6 months. And to put that in perspective, what you're getting here is about 7,000 pages of market intelligence. Okay. Game changer number 4, these are the accelerators like the store builder, the audience explorer, the ad wizard, the fulfillment robot. This is how you can automatically fulfill your orders. So when you're getting dozens of orders per day, instead of taking you hours, it'll take you just seconds to fulfill those orders. The super funnel builder, fill in the blanks, funnel scripts, and much, much more. You're getting Vulcan. I've also spent a long time talking about this because I think this is absolutely a game changer and unlike anything that you would have ever seen before. It's going to save you an enormous amount of time, eliminate human error, and make you more money. You've got the North Carolina warehouse, which you're welcome to use in a whole range of different ways. It's going to simplify your operation and, again, make you more money. You've got the Alliance. This is the private Facebook group. This is more like a family where we're all in there together, pushing each other along and helping answer questions. Steve and I are in there every single day. You've got the coaching, 1 year of direct access to us and our team. At the end of 1 year, we're not just going to ditch you either, but 1 year is plenty of time to build your business. You're getting the special bonuses, the Brain Trust recordings, you're getting Crowdforce, you're getting the Super Seller Secret, absolutely everything you need to build your business. This is 100% proven to work. This can be life-changing. Anyone can do this, and now is the time to take that leap of faith and to start building your business. If you want to have your photo up here, if you want to be at the point where you're earning hundreds or thousands of dollars per day, this is the best way that I know of to do it. If I was going to start from scratch with online marketing, this is without a doubt what I would do. Okay, you've got zero financial risk. We are 100% backing you up. Okay, we're giving you a 100% guarantee, and we've also got the $500 cashback guarantee on top of that. Another question that we get from people sometimes is, if I'm doing this business, if it involves Facebook, doesn't that mean that my friends and family are going to be able to see what I'm doing? Absolutely not. This is 100% private. Okay, none of your friends and family will ever know that you're doing this unless you tell them. Okay, it's 100% private. All you need to do is invest a little bit of your time, take the leap of faith, and then invest some time. And believe me, this is time well spent. We would love to have you as the next success story, but you need to take the leap of faith. I know that some people here have already jumped in. Actually, a lot of people here have jumped in. So thank you so much for putting your trust in us. And, I think that trust is well placed because, as Steve said, our reputation, we've been doing this for a long time and we've had thousands of students succeed over the past decade, and there's no reason why you can't be the next person. But at some point, you have to take the leap of faith. You've got nothing to lose here, guys, everything to gain. This is a brilliant business model, and we know how to do it, I think, as good as anyone out there. So we'd love to have you on the inside. We are closing this down now. I would just say, remember that special link, 100kfactory.com/go. If you are an Ultra member or a member of, one of our other programs, I would say have a look inside the members area. If you're an Ultra member, we've got a special video for you inside the members area, just giving you some more information about this because we're speaking more directly to you. So I would say check that out already. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much. I think we've answered all the questions. If you've got a burning last-minute question, type it in here. Otherwise, we're going to be shutting this down in about 10 seconds. If you have just jumped in while I've been talking, please just type a 1 in the chat box so I can see your name here. Okay, great. So Michael, I can see you. Clark, I can see you. David, Morris, brilliant. Okay, guys, Well, I think that's it. So, Steve, I think we're ready to shut this down, and thank you, everyone, for being here.
Take care, then.
Cheers, guys. Bye for now.